Today, 1 in 4 pieces of all critical infrastructure in the US, including police and fire stations, hospitals, airports, and wastewater treatment facilities, face substantial risk of being rendered inoperable by flooding. According to a new report released today by the First Street Foundation, a nonprofit research and technology group that assesses the threat posed by flooding across the country. The report also found nearly 2 million miles of roads, 23% of US roadways, are already at risk of becoming impassable due to flooding. The report used estimates of operational flood risk from official governing bodies to determine the amount of inundation it would take to knock different types of facility or service offline. The researchers then overlaid the kinds of flood events that can be expected in an area at least once every 2 years, the gauge community reads. If there is a ground zero for flood danger in the US, it is Louisiana. The state is home to 6 of the top 20 most at-risk counties in the country. Cameron Parish in southwest Louisiana is the most vulnerable county in the US, followed closely by Orleans Parish, which includes New Orleans. Jeremy Porter, First Street head of Research and Development, said while New Orleans has adopted its infrastructure and lives to hold off stronger storms, continued sea level rise, and more destructive hurricanes could eventually overwhelm the city's current defense. As the planet warms, due to human-caused climate change, a warmer atmosphere can hold more water, which makes extreme rainfall events dumping massive amounts of water in short periods of time more likely. Flooding is already the most common and costly disaster in the US, according to congressional testimony this year from FEMA Deputy Associate Administration David Maustad. Because of the impacts of climate change, there are communities across the US that are going to have tough decisions in the years to come because of sea level rise and intensity of storms, Maustad told CNN. President Joe Biden's $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill contains billions for flood mitigation and coastal restoration from storms. The Senate version of the bill contains $7 billion for the Army Corps of Engineers and $3.5 billion for FEMA flood mitigation assistance program, as well as millions more for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration program to make coastal communities more resilient for storms. The bipartisan bill also contains billions in funding to improve roads and power infrastructure and to make the energy grid more modern and resilient to strong storms. The threat of flooding is growing rapidly in the United States. A series of devastating floods this summer killed dozens of people and caused billions of dollars in damage from Louisiana to Tennessee and New York City. And as global warming melts ice sheets raise sea level and tilts the odds in favor of more extreme rainfall, even the risk will grow in many more communities, the First Street report found. Over the next 30 years, the number of residential properties at risk is flooding is expected to grow from 12.4 million today to 13.6 million by 2051, the report says. For critical infrastructure and commercial properties, the number of vulnerable facilities are projected to grow by 6% and 7% respectively over the next 3 decades. Geographically speaking, the report found flood threats will increase most along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts, but significant increase in vulnerability are also projected across large portions of the Pacific Northwest.